Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. It's the morning for me, but it might not be for you guys. By the time I upload this, it probably won't be actually, so I don't really know what I'm on about. However, I thought I would jump back onto the YouTube and be thinking about doing it again for a while, but I do want to make it a bit more consistent, because I do enjoy doing them. I do enjoy the way of doing them where it's like me just chatting to a camera on my phone, and then just doing like a day in the life, which is what this is basically. So yeah, I do enjoy doing it. It's just the fact that I forget. I'm a bit lazy. This is also a bit wonky. Better sound. So I thought I'd just crack on with it. If I can commit to this for more than 2 weeks, if I can get 3 videos up myself in the next 3 weeks, two weeks, I will buy, one of those like DJ Osmo things where it's like tracks my face in it, like spins around and stuff. Everyone uses one. Then I'll commit to getting one of them, and then I think if I drop a bit of money on that, then I'll be like, right, well, I've actually got to make the most of it now. But I'm on like a trial period with myself. But I probably will do it. But anyway, so today I'm probably into a diet or a prep. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I'll chat you through plans and whatnot in a little bit. But we are currently sitting at, to be fair, I was sitting £18 down in about 3 weeks. Called like this, well, not me this time, last week, fucking Monday. So then we put, and my baseline food wasn't really that low whatsoever. My baseline food went down to like 550 carb, like 380, 400, something like that on rest days. So not really that low at all. No cardio, steps were just 10K. First week or a bit were like just literally that. And then we added in some SLU, PP332. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Which I'm finding a lot of benefits from. That seems to be fucking very good. And then 30 mcg of Clen. So not really too much either. I've got a lot leaner. The issue now is that we had high days Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which was 700 carb Friday and Sunday on training day, 600 carb on Saturday as a rest day. Body weight dropped after every single one. And then since Monday, my body weight was like low or like mid 211s, not 111s, Jesus. 211s, it's now gone up to like 217, which we don't really know why. I mean, I've got a bit of stuff on, just for like work and whatnot. Like I'm a bit stressed, but I'm normally stressed. We had blood work done, which came back Friday. Blood work was all sound, so that's good. So anabolics went back in, which I'll get onto in a bit as well. On Saturday, again, that can cause potentially some body weight to be spiking. But in my head, I'm just like, it's fucking annoying. I just want to get lean. So yeah, don't know. But I've checked in with Tim today. I will whack up, or I probably have whacked up on the left-hand side. My checking, you obviously saw me get sorted. You saw me sorting stuff out. So yeah, the plan is basically just to crack on as we are for the next couple of days, see how body weight trends, and then Saturday I'll check in again. So now checking it 3 times a week. Then we'll make a call if we need to change anything or whatnot. Because literally on Monday we're literally thinking, right, by the time I'm checking on a Friday, we're going to have more high days. So I'm not going to happen now. I don't really care about, to be honest, because I do just want to get pretty lean. Which I've got even more time for shows this year than I did the last time I competed. And I was a lot leaner the last time I competed than the first time I competed. So that should be good. And that was for half the time. So that should be sound. So it's going to be a full day of eating. But essentially what I'm doing now is I basically cook a lot of my food for the day. So I'm going to do what I eat in the day in the life, and then I'll also have a bit of a chat with you guys later, because I've got a couple of things on today. But I do want to have a bit of a chat about where I'm at and then what I'm actually doing as well. But what you'll see here is me prepping my first meal, which is 3 eggs, 3 turkey bacon rashers, and 100 grams of pepper. My pre-workout meal is, I can't remember now, 150 uncooked rice, 20 grams of honey, 100 grams of chicken, and 100 grams of pineapple, 20 grams of dark chocolate. But essentially that's what I'm doing now, the boring shit. I'll probably film when I've got this meal so you can actually see it, because people do give a shit. And then I'll have a bit of a chat about where I'm at, and then I will be needing to start work. Decided yesterday, or like yesterday night, basically to just be really ill. And normally when he's unwell, he will throw up, like if he's eating something on like a walk or something. Can you look up there? That should be polite, thanks. What's wrong? You're fine. Normally, if he eats something, he'll just like throw up for a bit afterwards, and he'll just like feel sorry for himself for a bit. But like, he wasn't throwing up, and he was just like almost like hurried away in a corner, so it wasn't nice. But he seems fine now. I don't really know what's wrong. His legs are hurting him, so probably gonna have to get him on some BPC and TV500. If they've made a dog variant, I don't really know off the top of my head. But hopefully they do. Right, hello. So meal one is, it doesn't really change if I'm honest. It is eggs, turkey bacon, and some red pepper. The red pepper's got an asterisk there, depending on if I forget to buy them or not, or like if I run out a bit quicker, or if I'm like really pushing food, which to be fair, I don't feel like I've got to the point where I'm like not hungry, like at all, for a good amount of time when I've been pushing it. But if I can't be asked, then I probably won't put them in. If I just literally like want to get my food done as quick as I can, because for some reason they do make me slow down my eating and whatnot. Mainly because I don't enjoy them as much as the rest of the meal. But this meal I keep pretty much stable all year round. I did have sourdough with it when I wasn't dieting. Obviously I don't now because I'm not, but also because I can't tolerate it, which is class. I had a very short stint with sourdough. It lasted approximately like 4 or 5 months. But yeah, I used to get like ridiculously bad, maybe not bad, but frequent acid reflux from it. So it's not ideal. As soon as we pulled it out when we started dieting, it got better, which is good. Also have a black coffee in the morning. So that's meal one. Obviously now my usual routine is, it's coming up to now, well, it's now 9:20. So I'm actually starting work generally around 8:30 to 9:30 sort of timing. Today I've not got as much work as I usually do. However, I still am going to be a bit of a rush because I have a haircut at 1:45, and then straight after that, Barbara's in my gym. Straight after that, I am filming with Cam, and straight after that, I am having an in-person with Jared Thomas, who looks fucking sick. Looks really, really good. Just coming towards the back end of a tidy up phase now, and then we'll be going into like a very short improvement phase prior to prep, and then prep will kick off at the back end of April, start of May, which will be very, very exciting. Name a better site than using a micro scale and getting it absolutely bang on every time. So, I'm a bit strict for time. It's currently 12:10 and I have my haircut in 35 minutes, and I now need to eat my pre, which I don't know if I can flip the camera really around on this, but you can see is 100 grams of chicken, 150 uncooked white rice, 100 pineapple, 20 dark chocolate. I've done this for years, but I will always pull down protein in pre-workout and post-workout meal. It's very, very bro science in me, but when carb loading, having high days, for example, in like a prep or something, you will pull protein down to reduce potential GI stress from when the main goal of that meal is basically to bias carbohydrates and not really upset digestion too much. So I almost view those meals quite similar in a way. I always will do. Does it make much of a difference? No, but I'm still getting at least 20 grams of protein from a whole protein source. So I'm spiking NPS, I'm raising up my insulin sensitivity. But the main goal is going to be calories to come through carbohydrates essentially. But I'm unfortunately not going to chat too much now because I am in a lot of a rush, but I'll probably chat a little bit in the car in regards to session, whatnot. I might not be able to film too much when I'm training because I am in a bit of a rush. I've got a call at 5:30. I've got in-person to do. I've got reels to film, and I am ridiculously stressed out my tits. Yeah, so I wasn't planning on prepping or anything like that. Mainly because like I'm happy that I've made some decent improvements since I last stepped on stage throughout 2025. Like I'm very happy with them. However, that being said, I've had a lot of issues, niggles and whatnot go on throughout last year and this year already, which is great. Little bit of sciatica pain when training, nothing like ridiculous to the point where it's like when I'm not training it's bad as well, but definitely like when I've been doing some movements, whether it's sciatica or not, it's some degree of nerve damage. So it's been a bit of a ball ache to go through like hinge patterns and whatnot, and yeah, it's just not been all that kind really. So what I'm in a way now thinking to do was just diet anyway, because I need to do a bit of a tidy up. But we have spent a lot of time refining training, having time away from movements which aggravate injuries, which is going well. And then I tore my adductors, so that was class. Well, either tore or like massively strained them, but it really wasn't pleasant. It wasn't even on an adductor movement, it was on a Cybex squat press in Derby, and two of my best sets I've ever done on it, and then it just kind of blew up. And like I did a set, it was like 12 plates for like 8 or 9. I was like probably the best set of 12 I've ever done, and I was training with Molly and she was like, oh, that was really good. And I was like, yeah, I'll go heavier. Then I started walking. I was like, oh, it just feels a bit tender, but I said I'll go heavier, so I'm going to go heavier. Then I went heavier. I did 13 for like 5, maybe 6, I think. 4, 5 or 6, one of them. So it wasn't like a ridiculously high rep set, but it was a very good quality set and I was really happy with it. But then I walked off and I was like, I don't feel great. My adductors were like ridiculously tight and it almost just felt like anytime I moved, it wasn't just my adductors, it was just my whole like lower body, groin, hip area was like someone was just fucking hitting it. Like anytime I was walking, and then we went for a walk after we trained, and yeah, I was basically waddling. It wasn't great. So yeah, that then basically kept occurring. Then if I did any adductor movement, it would keep happening. There was a time which Molly had to literally pull my legs up and put them into a seated hamstring curl, and I couldn't do like 3 pins down in the stack, which I'd usually stack. So that was also absolutely fantastic. So yeah, we've just been BPC in the area. We've had GH in for a bit of time anyway. So just been BPC and TV500 it, just battering it basically. So I've been using 1 milligram of both of them, sub-Q every day, which feels like it's helped. I've been able to do some compound work today. I've got legs, so hopefully this will be fine now. Been able to do some compound work. I've started doing some light adductor work as well. So fingers crossed, if everything's sound and this diet goes well, I will jump on stage in May, June time, which will be cool. I'm not worried about like timelines or anything like that. I've got like 13, 14, 15, 16 weeks. Like it'll be a lot longer than the prep I did with Tim in 2024, so that'll be fantastic. But yeah, I've still got more time, I think, before my first show now than I did when I actually started prep in 2024, so that's cool. So yeah, I've got no worries about like being ready in time or anything like that. Anabolics have gone back in, mainly because my blood work was like very, very fucking good. Like I'm always on top of my health supplementation, like to a really, really good standard. But my blood work came back probably the best it ever has, and it wasn't like well, being honest, it wasn't ridiculous amount of time off, but they were the best they've ever been. So I was like, sound. Obviously, testosterone wasn't natural because we did only go down to 300 milligrams, which still put me super physiological. But every other marker was absolutely bang on, really good. So very happy with that. So we have started our prep cycle. We have started with 400 tests and 200 matched, so 600 milligrams total. Which will run for a little bit of time now, and then as we do begin getting closer towards show dates, towards May time, that's when we begin obviously shifting down that androgen to estrogen ratio, just to favour a bit more of a dry look. Obviously no orals just yet, no heavy, harsh compounds. I did want to use EQ, however, because I do find myself get on with it really well in terms of maybe a cosmetic standpoint, but then also from like a training performance standpoint as well. However, I can't really tolerate much of it. I've got to run my test ridiculously high just to be able to tolerate that, because it just brings my E2 right down. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that because we're not going to run tests very high in a prep, or high to my standards, which I can tolerate it because I've never really aromatized, really, or like over aromatized. I've never had any gyno or anything like that, so I can run it pretty high. But obviously, I'm not going to do that in a prep, so won't need to. But yeah, very excited. Should be a good run of shows ahead. We have got. I'm not going to say, because I'm going to be that guy, that annoying little bastard. But we've got some shows in May time. Obviously, PCA Universe is then. I turned 24 4 days beforehand, so I can't do that as a junior, which is fucking annoying. But we'll be doing that, which will be good. And then I've got 2 regionals beforehand, which I want to do a mix of classic, short, and a junior bodybuilding, and potentially one of which might be abroad, which will be fun. So then I competed abroad. I was supposed to 2023, because initially I was thinking like, oh, let's go and do world finals. I can't remember where it was, but let's go and do world finals. That'd be sick. I think it was in Spain, and I was like, oh, that'll be sick. Obviously didn't qualify because I looked fucking shit. But then I was going to do it last year, not last year, 2024. We were like, initially we were going to do PCA Germany. And it was like after the British finals, we were going to jump into that, it was going to be cool. Then I just was absolutely cooked after my 3rd show, because it was like, maybe not too many, it wasn't anything back to back, but I was just absolutely in the bin. Like maybe also psychologically go into that prep, probably wasn't in the best position, but it was vibes anyway, so it was fine. But yeah, that's the plan for the next couple of months, couple of weeks. There you go. So I'm prepping if I can train legs, so hopefully by the end of this video I'll be like, yeah, today's session was great. If not, and I'm in a wheelchair, then obviously it hasn't, but that's the plans. And then, which also fits quite nicely because all my clients on stage this year are the back end of the year. Obviously this time last year I had no one prepping, and then I picked up 2 for early in the year. One was like end of March, so like literally like 8 weeks from now, fucking hell, and then one was May and June, so kind of spaced things out quite nicely. Like it was literally like, okay, someone's on stage, focus on them. Then it was when I was on stage, focus on them. Everyone is now back end of the year, which is class, and Molly's going into the year as well, so that's even better. I'm going to be a stressed out fucking mess. So yeah, that's good. Well, at least I'll have some cool YouTube videos for that. That'll be fun. But yeah, it means that I can, if I'm going to compete, I can get all of my shows done and out of the way prior to their preps really kicking on. Obviously everyone will be in prep by then, but at least it means that like my focus to a certain degree can be towards me when I'm on stage and whatnot, and then it can also shift to them when they're in the depths of prep and whatnot, which will be fun. So yeah, very big exciting year, and of course Molly on stage as well, which I think her last shows were in like November, so that's class. Our holidays this year are basically going to be going to shows abroad. We're not going on holiday this year, which is annoying, but to be fair, I think by the time that we're both done with competing and what this year, might have been abroad 3 times for shows. I think we'll be sick of an airport. So yeah, I don't even like flying. I'm not very good at flying if I'm not under the influence of alcohol either. So yeah, obviously couldn't do that if I'm prepping. So I have no idea how that's going to actually work. Don't know if I'm planning to swim over. Also can't swim, so I don't think that's going to happen. But that's my plans for this year. So I will catch you after I've trained, and I'll give an update on whatnot and stuff like that. I might try and film the odd bit, but aside from that, I will catch you on the way home and run you through the rest of the day, which I'm absolutely fucked for because I haven't done any steps yet. Great for someone who's prepping, isn't it? But that's my routine, so it's fine. Yeah, basically need to do a load of steps, got a call at 5:30, still got some check-ins to do just to finish off, got some training feedback to get back to, and then City play at 8 o'clock, which quite gutted I wasn't going to, because I was supposed to see Cam yesterday, but I rearranged it today because I wanted to get my hair cut, which obviously now meant that I can't go to City v Newcastle tonight, because there's no chance of me getting to the Etihad for 8 o'clock then. So that's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. Right, so we are back, and I've got a post-workout meal. It is a lot later than I expected to be in this, and I still got a fair bit of work to do, which is absolutely class. Post-workout is 150 Frosties, 40 grams of whey, and 100 grams of raspberries. Whey is Naughty Boy, maple, and something. By the way, you can grab from FBS Nutrition, who I'm now working with, which is lovely, isn't it? That sounded quite sarcastic. No. So yeah, I'm now working with Full Bore Sports, which is absolutely fucking wicked, to be fair. Known of the brand for a good amount of time. I've known Robbie for a good amount of time, so was very happy when he approached me to join the team and start working together. I remember chatting to Robbie at the PC Universe last year, and I remember saying to Molly afterwards, and I was like, "Oh, that wouldn't mind working with Full Bore. That'd be pretty cool." But yeah, Full Bore cover pretty much everything over on their site, from some of the best brands in the UK. You Perform, you're strong, you're trained by JP. They've also just brought out their, to be fair, Supplement Needs as well. They've also just brought out their own brand, FBS Nutrition, which they have brought out something called Stress Less, which is the first thing in the industry, I'm pretty sure, which is a very good stress management tool for not only your mental stress, but also your physical stress, so things like even like your gut, things like that as well. So something which I've been massively overdosing in towards this prep that I'm doing, and also towards show season, because I'm going to be absolutely cooked and relying on a lot of white monsters and potentially little asterisks next to it, maybe some snus, but that's subject to change, probably not. So yeah, if you want to use my code, the code is Jenkins. There you go. There's no 10 on it, but it is 10% off. Supports me a little bit, maybe, I think. So feel free to use that. So yeah, still got a couple more check-ins to do. That just came through a little bit later. Thanks, as always. Couple of bits of training clips to get back to, and then some steps to finish off. I say some steps, 5.5K steps to finish off. Ideally before 8 PM, because City play Newcastle, which I do want to fucking watch. But then we should be all sound to crack on. And then I've literally got 2 meals left, which is chicken, rice, pineapple, and cream of rice. But I might show them potentially, but I'll be back in a bit to have a bit of a chat. But yeah, that is that for now. Apologies if you can hear the kettle. I need to boil it. So we have finished another bit of work. I probably will still do some more while I'm watching the football, but the football kicks off in 10 minutes, so I need to basically prep my last meal for the day, which is 125 grams of cream of rice. Custard cream flavour was very, very good, but it's beginning to get a bit boring now. So probably get, I do want to, what's it called? The fucking sticky toffee pudding one, that's good. But I'll probably get bored of it. To be fair, I won't, because I'll have less food, so it'll taste nicer. But that one's pretty good. Custard cream's good, but after a while, it just gets a bit bland. It gets a bit naff. So 125 grams of that, 60 grams of whey, and 20 dark chocolate, 100 raspberries. My fourth meal, which I've already basically sorted, is 200 grams of chicken. Have I done that right? Yeah, 200 grams of chicken, 125 uncooked white rice, 5 ml of olive oil. Once upon a time, we used to have cashew nuts in that meal. That was good, but unfortunately, Tim doesn't like me enough to put it back in as a fat sauce. So it's that, olive oil, 100 grams of pineapple. I do also put this sauce on it, which, by the way, if you do have sauces, which I do kind of advise you do, because otherwise your food tastes of shit, I do advise that you actually do weigh them out and track them, because granted, they're not going to be ridiculous amounts of calories unless you're having a whole bottle in one go, but I do like to keep them consistent, and I'll keep it consistent based on what I normally have. I'm not going to go excessive. I don't think you really need to be honest. But at the same time, like if you're having a ridiculous amount of sauces, and potentially if you're dieting, if you're prepping, and that's going to be maybe something which you have more of, I don't know. I think usually as your food gets lower, you should probably have less sauce, because otherwise it's going to be a weird mess. But at least keep it consistent and don't go ridiculously overboard with it, because if it's not going to mess up your energy balance, it probably is going to mess up your digestion to some degree. Hence why, like, something I will never really ever have is like the 0 calorie sauces and shit like that. Mainly because they don't actually taste that good, and two, I did have them in a prep beforehand, and they absolutely fucking cooked my digestion, and my stomach was absolutely fucked. Or I wasn't even having that much of it either. So I really don't advise that people use them that much, because one, like I said, I think they're pretty shit. That's still got some soap on it, brilliant. But they can also upset digestion a lot, which, especially with me, my digestion has got a tendency to be an absolute bell end at the best of times. Usually when I'm dieting though. So I'm probably about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks out now from not being able to tolerate certain foods anymore. One of them being rice, which is really, really weird. If anyone can remember in my, to be fair, in both preps I've done, towards the latter ends, my body can't really tolerate it too much, and my face genuinely goes softer than it is now, and it's not really not lean yet either. Yeah, body just can't tolerate it. My face just swells up ridiculously. Everywhere else stays absolutely ridiculously peeled. It swells up for like an hour, then it goes straight back down. But it's just not really a good sign. It's either that or beef mince. Then I think it is just rice in general. I don't really know. But hopefully this year something different. But if not, it'll just be a bagel protocol again, and potentially some rice pudding, which, even though it's still rice, for some reason is fine. So fingers crossed that's all right. But yeah, another thing with each meal, I've got, annoyingly, less sodium than I'd like to. I didn't really want to play around with escalating it too much, mainly because my body does have a tendency as well to just balloon up, my body weight, I should say. So, I mean, part of that reason is kind of my fault. Like, when I started dieting last year and I was still on 6 grams of salt a day, I did say to Tim, I was like, oh, can we just escalate a bit of sodium because I feel better and I get a better pump with it. He was like, yeah, sound. I just go to 12. He was like, yeah, sound. I didn't realise he didn't meant do it overnight. And me being an idiot, obviously I would know if I can tell a client to do that. But me not putting 2 and 2 together meant don't do that overnight. Did it overnight and I gained £6. So don't do that. It's fucking stupid. So yeah, 6 grams of salt a day, 4 of which is pink salt, 2 of which is low salt, so reduced sodium. Hopefully that can fucking change, because I do feel better when I've got more salt in me, but at the same time, it'll probably just send my head west if my body weight just starts going up again, even more than it's got up now, so that's great. I really wish this video could have been timed at a better time when I'm like new low of prep or whatnot. Hopefully that comes in it will come in the next week or so. But for now, we have to sit at 217. To be fair, I was happy with how I looked post-workout. I don't know if I'll have the photos from Cam that he took by the time this video goes out. If I do, they'll be on screen now. Still there. A couple more. If not, I'll just put my screenshots on the video, and there you go. But yeah, relatively happy with how things are looking. I'm never going to be really that happy. I'm just a bit miserable. But all right, my lower body's getting there, condition-wise, which it should be. It's definitely by far the leanest I've ever looked at this body weight, so that's good. But still just needs a lot more upper body. Unfortunately, that's not really much I can help right now, being in a deficit, or so-called deficit. But it's the same thing in the next off-season, isn't it? It's just batter the upper body, batter the arms, which have got a bit better. They actually look all right in this lighting. They've got a little bit better, but still wank. My lats are still wank. Chest is still poor. Delts are all right. Probably not, actually. Probably need more delt. Back's all right. Back can't hinge properly, so I probably need to start hinging properly again. Probably stop getting injured as well. That would be great. So, yeah. That's my basically plans for next off-season. Just basically just didn't even bother keeping it under wraps, just kill my upper body again. Well, not kill it, but just build it. I'm absolutely chatting shit now. I've also just destroyed this cream of rice that looks absolutely disgusting. Fucking brilliant. This is why you should never multitask. Learn something new every day. I've also just realised I'm not even barely in frame until I'm here. Great. I'm great at YouTube. It will get better, I promise. But for now, I will leave it there, and I will chat to you all a bit later on when I'm eating this, and then hopefully the football goes well as well, because otherwise I'll lose my fucking head.
Sean, he does brilliant to come across and make the challenge in the end, but as I said, he's out of luck.
We are back for meal number 5. Meal timing not ideal because the football's still on,
but I don't want to have my last meal too close to bed. It's currently 9:45 and I am pretty tired and I still have some steps to do. So basically it is just finish off watching this game, finish my food, FaceTime my girlfriend, be a nice boyfriend. I'm saying that as if it's a chore, it's not. Supposing Molly allows us to play Connect 4, because it's by far the best iMessage game, it's absolutely brilliant. And if I actually can be asked, then I'm genuinely fantastic at it. But yeah, last meal is 125 cream of rice, 100 raspberries, 20 dark chocolate, and the whey is lemon cheesecake. The one earlier, I don't know if I said, was maple pancakes or fucking pecan or something, I don't know, but it's nice. All of which, again, you can grab from Full Ball Sports. So yeah, we'll leave that there for today. I don't know if it's been a good video. I did try it. I basically edit some bits as I go along when I get some time. I say edit, I whack it in CapCut. I just quickly go through it. I make sure that things just make sense. And then I just hope for the best, basically. So, hopefully that's been sound. Hopefully people have enjoyed it. It's probably a bit long because I am still I was going to say I'm getting better at it. I'm not, because I'm really rusty and stuff with it because I haven't done one in a while. But I'm going to get better, I promise. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe. Fucking hell. Tag me in your stories if you fancy. I might say thank you. I probably will. I'll probably say thank you very much, mate, with like an exclamation mark and copy and paste it to everybody. While I keep looking, think something's going to happen. We're through anyway, it's fine. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully get another video up soon. I'm thinking Saturday. Don't hold me to it, but I'm thinking Saturday. Might do could do like a weekend in the life. Me going up to Nottingham, I don't know. So might be training at the JP gym on Saturday. I don't know. And then Saturday I'm training at Derby, basically. And City playing at 4:30, but no one really gives a shit about that. But yeah, either way, I'm going to stop rambling. Hope you've all enjoyed. I will catch you soon.